Welcome, everyone. I'm Lars Bildsten, the director here at the KITP. It's really my pleasure to welcome all of you and see some familiar returning faces. I also always like to ask for how many of you is this morning your first time here at the KITP? Raise your hand high. Yeah. So the invariant, it's always about half. So that's what we like. So for that reason, I like to explain a little bit of who we are and how we function. So this is a 4-day conference associated with a long program. So our major activities are programs. These programs go from 6 to 12 weeks, typically about 28 to 30 people here on any week of those programs. And those programs come from proposals from you, the community, to us and to our advisory board. We really like to have that be a development process. The deadline for this coming cycle is November 8, I believe. And the board starts their work soon thereafter, and we wrap up our work in mid-February with pre-approvals of typically about a dozen programs. So we're always running 2 programs at once. We operate 50 weeks per year. The only 2 weeks we don't have programs are the Christmas, New Year moment. And we really look forward to getting ideas from anybody here in the community. So while you're here, if you have an idea and you want to sort of get a sense for how the board process works. Unfortunately, I'm about to leave for travel at noon, but there's many people here who can explain it. So I see Peter Zoller, who's a former board member. So Peter, everybody knows Peter. So Peter it hasn't changed much, Peter, so you can tell them relevant things. Anna Maria Ray, I think just rotated off the board a couple of years back, so she can describe it. Mark Bowick. Mark, can you raise your hand? He's deputy director here. Mark can certainly explain it. And of course, the coordinators who successfully got a program can also describe it. Andrew's done it a few times. Andrew, we don't want another proposal from you this cycle.
Don't worry, Lars. I'm all organized now.
You've got cover. You've generated cover. So we really do look for new ideas. It is a development process. We get pre-proposals and then work with you in the community to see which of those we really want to move forward. But that's how this happens, and this is all supported by the National Science Foundation. Our grant was just renewed this summer. For another 5 years of support for these activities. So please do acknowledge the grant as well. So I really want to thank the coordinators for this event. So I know for the conference, Mariana, where are you? Really did heavy lifting, so thank you. Round of applause. And of course she had help from Klaus. Where's Klaus sitting now? Klaus? Yeah. And Clemens is over here in the corner. Thank you. We have our code of conduct posted outside, but really, and it's in your packets, it's really as you would expect, which is please be respectful. Please make this a great event so that people, most importantly, feel comfortable with their questions and we have positive interactions. Please wear your name tag. There is another program here. All of the breaks, for those of you who are first time here, the breaks are in the courtyard, which is in that direction. So the breaks, lunches, and dinners are there. The other program might get confused and think it's all for them. So please wear your name tags. That way our staff will let you through and keep out the condensed matter theorists, even though I know some of you are condensed matter theorists. I really want to thank our staff. So this wouldn't be happening without them. So I really want to thank Claudia for all of her efforts. Thank you, Claudia. If you're bringing someone to dinner that Claudia doesn't know about, I'd encourage you to speak with Claudia so she can collect an extra payment and add to the head count. Then for IT, we have Craig. So Craig, thank you for all your work. And on Zoom, we have Alina. She's there, KITP Alina. People's names get modified if they work here long enough. Thank you, Alina. Okay, another hallmark that we really like to protect is time for discussions. So you'll see that the talks are very explicitly broken up so that half of the time after your talk is available for questions. Of course, that might happen during the talk, and that's okay. The only way this works is if the session chairs set a great example. So Anna Maria, the conference is your responsibility because if you let the speakers go long, it'll cascade for the rest of the week. So please do respect that. We will need to use the microphones. So everything we do here at KITP is always recorded and online, and speakers have gotten instructions for that. Typically the talks are up within usually same day. But what that means is that you please use the microphones for questions. So whoever's running the session might want to grab some help for that. Of course, things are also on Zoom, and I think there are maybe a few remote speakers, but Zoom is also available. So those talks are online. It's a big resource for us. There's about 24,000 talks that are available, so we've been doing this for quite a while. Typically on a given day, there's about 600 hours of people watching the talks. So what that means is your audience, if you've given a talk, actually will exceed what it is in this room, if it's a good one, after a few years. So do keep that in mind. I'm thinking what else I've missed. Wi-Fi is here. Eduroam seems to be functioning for most. If not, Craig can always help you at break. I think I feel like I've got everything. I'm looking at Claudia. Is there anything I've missed? Okay, so I'm going to hand this over to Anna Maria and get her going, and then I'm going to go teach my class. Okay, thank you.
Yes, no, thank you, Lars, for these conferences are great. So we are so grateful to KITP for these opportunities. Thank you. Okay, I mean, it's my great pleasure to start chairing the first session of this meeting. As Lars said, I will try to enforce to have the talks 30 minutes, to leave 15 minutes for discussion. And we are ready for the first talk of the session that is going to be given by June. Jim, do you have yours?